Good morning, Eagles. In this month's What's Brewing teacher feature, we are featuring teachers who are using some really cool technology tools in their classroom. Megan Guther is going to tell you about how she uses Google Forms to create a Choose Your Own Adventure project for her students. And Dave Austin is going to show you how he has his students use Google Drawing to create some posters electronically, and how he uses Quizlet Live to review. Enjoy!
So I used Google Draw for the first time this year. It was some new technology that I thought would be great for the students to learn how to use, and also at the same time I learned a lot how to use it from them using it. We used it for a project that was biogeochemical cycles, which isn't the most exciting topic, talking about how nitrogen cycles through the ground, the atmosphere, phosphorus cycle, the carbon cycle. So what I used to do is have them draw on big whiteboards and basically almost copy it out of the book and kind of draw things in. And this year I want to do something different and involve technology, since everyone has Chromebooks, so I thought it would be great to use it, and the kids did an awesome job with it, making their own diagrams and being creative with it, learning how to use the different functions of Google Draw. And I've also seen students now use Google Draw in other aspects outside of the classroom, including making t-shirts, making pamphlets, and there's a lot of creativity that's possible with Google Draw. So Quizlet Live is another one. It's a great review tool. I've used Kahoot, I've used other ones, and Kahoot's fun and it's individual and it's competition. Quizlet Live is also a competition, but they work in groups. And it's super easy to use. I can literally search for a chapter in my book on Quizlet, find something that another teacher made, or I can make my own, but it's easy to get other ones that have already been made, and click on Quizlet Live and it brings it up to them, it gives them a code, and then they're given questions all kind of together. They all have their own set of words, and ask them a general question. They have to figure out who has that word and put it in the box. And it's kind of a race between teams, and if they don't get the questions right, they drop back down to the beginning. So it's kind of a competition to get to the end, and it's a super quick game. Like, games can last anywhere from like 2 minutes to 5 or 6 minutes, and then you can also just reset it and start again. And you can mix up the teams if you want, you can do a different chapter. It's super quick, super easy, and the kids really get into it. And I encourage them to move around and sit with their teams so they're not yelling across the room. And it's pretty cool how competitive they get and how good of a review tool it is.
So at the beginning of the year in global studies, we look at trying to understand politics, economics, and geography, and especially how those things work together and how people make decisions based on all of those different things. So I used the Google Forms to create a Choose Your Own Adventure game, and all students started with the exact same scenario, that they had experienced some catastrophic event of their own choosing, and then based on the decisions that they made, the Google form would take them in different routes. So for example, if they chose to be a mainly command economy where the government had control, then it would take them down a route of like workers striking and workers being upset at the government decisions. With Google Forms, down at the bottom there's a little settings bar that allows you to choose which section a question will take you to. So all you have to do, and this is something that Whitney Walsh showed me actually, is based on the students' answers, instead of saying automatically continue to next section, you can have each answer direct you to a different section. So you just have to go through and check and make sure that, you know, if a student chooses totalitarian government, it's going to take them to section 5, which is workers striking. So in terms of like the students and what they got out of it, first of all, they had a lot of fun just deciding on who they were and how they got there. But more importantly, they had a lot of really interesting conversations about, well, trying to anticipate what each decision would bring them to. So they were trying to figure out in their minds how to do the least amount of work and not need to go back and redo things. But in reality, they were then having these really good critical conversations about, like, well, if we make this decision, this is what we think will happen. We think if we decide to go back and stop overconsumption, that it's going to make us redo all of this and totally change our government, which it probably would have. And if we kind of try to deal with the problem this way, maybe we will end up with, that worker striking situation or something like that. So despite the fact that in their heads they were trying to do complete the smallest number of sections possible, in doing that they were also having really good conversations about how economic factors are influenced by geography, and how your government and the way government policies work will influence both of those things.
Thanks for watching, Eagles, and if you have any awesome tech tools you're using in your classroom, we'd love to hear about them. We'll see you in the tea room.